Hello everyone, and welcome to Noodle Journey, your destination for detailed and informative reviews of the instant noodle universe. And as promised, I've got another exciting Marutai product for review. This is their Seiyoken Tonkotsu Ramen. Before we get started, please remember to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel if you enjoy my reviews. Now, this review and the next two after this are something really special from Marutai. This fancy-looking package, and the two that will follow, are not part of Marutai's local series like I've reviewed in the past, but are actually part of a series that translates to famous store ramen. That means that the recipes in these are collaborations with famous restaurants in Japan. I'm really psyched about that. So let's start talking about this one. Here we have a Tonkotsu ramen, which is a pork broth ramen, whose recipe was supervised by a restaurant called Seiyoken in Kurume City. And Kurume is attributed as the birthplace of Tonkotsu ramen, in case you didn't know. This particular Tonkotsu ramen is described on Marutai's site as a light and rich pork bone broth using a liquid soup packet for an authentic restaurant-style experience. Sounds awesome, right? And guess what, folks? Even though this is an imported product with pork extract in it, you can buy this in America. I scored this from yamibuy.com for $5.49, and so can you when it's in stock. And it currently is in stock at the time of this filming. This is one of those things that when it sells out at Yamibuy, it'll take a couple months for them to get new stock, but it does come back. Now here's where I normally say that $5.49 is a good value because you get 2 servings in Marutai packs, but actually these restaurant collaboration packs are 1 serving only. So yes, this definitely falls into a very premium price per serving ratio. But I guess you can look at it as $6 for a pack of ramen is still cheaper than a plane ticket to Japan. Let's talk about the sodium and then get to what's inside the package. Now, Marutai's products are extremely sodium rich, and in here you're looking at 2,320 milligrams. Now, while that is 101% of your daily allowance, that's actually kind of good for Marutai. Some of their sodium counts go even further above that. So if sodium bothers you and you still want to buy this, just resist the urge to drink all the broth, which I know is easier said than done. Now, opening this up, we've got a bundle of Marutai's thinnest noodles yet. These only take 90 seconds to cook. I also can't find any other Marutai products that have 90-second noodles, so I think these might be unique to this particular product. And we've got a liquid soup packet and a dried flake packet. Now, relying on Google Translate, the liquid soup packet contains both pork and chicken extract with some gelatin, some extra pork fat, soy sauce, and additional nondescript seasonings. And the flake packet looks to be dried green onion and possibly sesame seeds, but we'll know for sure when I put this all together. So with all that said, let's get this cooked. So here we go. Noodles in hot water, and now the liquid broth gets stirred in. Extremely soy-forward smell. All right, check out that fat in here. Let's get this all stirred up right away. Okay, that dissolved pretty well. Let's open up the flake packet and pour that in. Dehydrated green onions, and they actually smell very fresh. Like, these have a surprisingly strong onion smell for something that's been dehydrated. Usually they don't smell like a whole lot. Also, what a good amount. If that chicken paitan from the last review had this many green onions in it, I wouldn't have complained about that. This is wonderful. Okay, here we are. Now remember, Marutai markets this as a light yet rich tonkotsu broth, and indeed it does look light and rich. Light as far as consistency, rich as far as I see quite a bit of oil floating around in here. I'm hopeful this is a great combination. Let's give it a taste. All right. As always, I'm going to start talking about the noodles first, but there's not much to say that I haven't said already about Marutai noodles. These are a little bit thinner than what have come in the other packs, but they're very firm, a pleasant chew and texture. They're clinging to the broth nicely, and they're not soggy. So what more could I ask for? 10 out of 10. Great noodles as always. And real quick, spiciness. This is a 0 out of 10. There is no spice in here. So let's talk all about this flavor. Marutai wasn't kidding. Light and rich is a perfect way to describe this. What I'm getting is not just the flavor of pork, but quite a bit of chicken flavor as well. It's almost like a 50-50 split, and that makes for an incredibly light yet very savory, tasty broth. There's quite a bit of salt in here from the soy sauce, and a delicious, fresh punch of green onion from all the green onions that are here. Like really, these little dehydrated green onions have basically permeated this broth and given it an extremely nice onion flavor. There's a good amount of oil and fat, giving it a rich quality that you want out of a premium tonkotsu experience like this. And that's really about it, because there's not a whole lot of other surprises in here. There's no punch of garlic, punch of sesame seed. And it's a very basic no-frills tonkotsu, but it is absolutely delicious. Yeah, the only thing I have to really complain about is the price per serving. But I dare say this is a restaurant quality broth that I am enjoying here in the comfort of my home. And so for under $6, I'm not going to really complain about that. Yeah, I'm struggling on whether or not to give this a perfect score because I keep coming back to that price tag. But honestly, if this is something you want to treat yourself with, I think you're going to find this is a perfect 10. It's a perfect example of what a light, savory tonkotsu broth can be without too many other intrusive flavors getting in the mix. This is wonderful, and I can't wait to add things to this. All right, my first restaurant supervised Marutai review. While I do think it's delicious and I gave it a perfect score, I'm not 100% sold on whether or not it's worth double the price per serving compared to Marutai's other tonkotsu varieties. However, the liquid broth that leads to this rich, smooth taste experience really is unparalleled. It's extremely close to Ichiran, but I would say better noodles and better flavor. I was honestly prepared going into this to not give it a perfect score because of the price point, but I feel like it's so well presented and the taste is so spot on that, yeah, I'm finding myself not caring about the price tag. If this interests you, and if you're really into the idea of premium Japanese ramen, it should at least pique your curiosity. You don't necessarily need to go out of your way to get this unless it's like on your ramen bucket list, or if it's somehow easier to get this one than all of Marutai's other tonkotsu flavors, but I don't think you'll regret buying this one bit. The ultra-thin noodles are, I think, unique to this product, and the liquid broth pack is much fancier than powdered broth, so those are kind of the big selling points if you're looking to experience all that Marutai has to offer. Now I am going to go dress this up and finish it for my lunch. I'll be taking a look at another restaurant-supervised tonkotsu in the next video, so if you liked this review, you're going to want to check that out when I release it. So hopefully I'll see you on the next episode of Noodle Journey.